Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Ready to Love Season 8. Season 8, Episode 3. I hope you guys are doing good today. Yes, it's Monday, and yes, I'm just now watching the show. I apologize. It has been a very long weekend, and I had some family stuff that I found out about earlier in the week, and once I found out, I just did not feel like doing Ready to Love. I just didn't feel like doing it. But I finally was able to get to it today, and I will be going to South Carolina this week to be with my family, and I just ask that you keep us in your prayers. I don't know if I will be able to do the review on Friday, but I'm hoping that I will. But right now, my number one priority and concern is just getting home and trying to see what's going on. So, yeah. Ready to Love, though. I'm watching and reviewing at the same time. So this episode is called Tommy's Choice. And when I first saw that, I was like, is Tommy about to pick somebody to go home? Because I was like, surely he's sending Tequila. But no, Tommy's Choice has nothing to do with him sending anybody home. And it has everything to do with him setting up the dates for the week. Now, I actually thought this was a cool idea because most of the time when people pick out their own dates, they're going to pick out people that they're primarily interested in. And usually it could be like a physical attraction, or it could be an emotional attraction. But what ends up happening is you don't give another person a chance. And so I thought it was kind of cool that Tommy did set up a few dates, or production, if you will. So he set up some dates for the gentleman, and one of the first dates was with Tequila herself and Marvin. Now, Marvin is surprised that it's going to be Tequila, especially given the fact that Tequila felt like Marvin had ignored her early on in the mixer and didn't really give her the opportunity. He was surprised that it was her that nephew Tommy, I'm trying to refrain from calling him nephew Tyler Perry, but that's his name over here, y'all, set up for him. So they go to this little bar that's got games and stuff, and seems like they had a really good time. They're both super competitive. We find out that Tequila's favorite food is crawfish. I think his is like a bacon cheeseburger. I said, Marvin, how? I mean, I guess both of them can be pretty standard, but at least crawfish is like an in-season seafood. His is just, we can take it on over to Chili's. But cool, you like what you like, right? I mean, I love fried chicken, so yeah. But they actually do have a really good time together, lots of laughs. They really enjoy each other's company. He says that he loves him a Southern accent, and Tequila definitely has her one. And overall, their date went good. It was nothing crazy exciting. Their date just went well. I don't see Tequila dealing with Marvin, past maybe some little sex or something. But other than that, I really don't see too many of the ladies taking Marvin seriously just due to his background, right? So the next date we go on is a wild card. All right. She pulls up, and from the back, I was like, who is that? But it was Katarina. Okay. Katarina. And Chris, I think the Nigerian guy's name is Chris, right? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The Nigerian connection. They go on a date, and he is just like, wow, you are really about to shake some stuff up around here, because first of all, you are beautiful. And their date went really well. It kind of was very easy. She says that she knows she is that girl because, honey, not too my own horn, but I got it going on. I'm a nurse. I got 3 degrees. I'm fine. And all this other stuff that she got going on. Not only that, but they find out they got the African connection, y'all. Her daddy is from Sierra Leone, and he says that he was raised in Africa, although he was born in America. Now, and she was raised in Mississippi, not too far away from Louisiana. And he says to her, so that means you can cook and eat. She said, I can eat. I said, okay, my girl. My girl, don't be worried about what I can do in this kitchen, boo. We just met. All right. And can you cook is the question. But I thought it was funny when he was talking about how he was raised in Africa. When I used to have a little thing for, my men from the continent. And I think I still do a little bit. But I used to always tell them that if it worked out with us and we had children, let's send our children right on over there to go to school. I done heard about the Nigerian boarding schools, and yes, indeed, I want my child to go. Could go right on over there to boarding school. We will come pick you up when it's time. Go on over there to that Nigerian boarding school so you can appreciate what you got over here. Yes, I'm one of those. Okay, I am one of those. No, did I have to go to boarding school? No, but I would have rather gone. If I would have had to choose between some of the education I got in boarding school, I probably would have rather gone in hindsight. But yeah, that's a little joke I used to always have with my men's from the continent. Ultimately, I didn't have none of their children, as you can see. So they have that connection going on with her dad being from Sierra Leone and him being part Nigerian. I feel like their date went well. It was more like just a getting to know you, but he thought that she was beautiful. She thought that he was good looking, but also they were able to connect conversation wise. And then we move on to our next date. All right, so our next date, we see Janelle walking in, right? And y'all, I'm not laughing because I think he's probably going to be a very nice guy. But y'all, we got another wild card. And the wild card's name is Chris. And y'all tell me why Chris... He just country, y'all. I'm country too. But he came in like he had his stuff written down. He said, hey, how you doing? My name is Chris. I'm 34 years old. I'm going to be joining you on this process. I am owning a company. I'm an entrepreneur. I own a company with my family. Today, we're going to make some pizzas. We're going to have a good time. I said, did you write it down, Chris? My boy came in there ready. But he's a decent enough looking guy at first. When I first looked at him, y'all, real fast, I was thinking to myself, now, Habibi, boy, is that you? Did you take your facial hair off and take off your discipleship and come in here and fool us again? They got the same type of complexion and like the same smile almost, but it ain't Habibi, y'all. Or is it? Is it evil twin? Evil twin? Anyway, y'all. But Chris was ready, y'all. He was ready. He had his stuff together. He tells Janelle he a sucker for teeth. He love her hair. He owns a company with his family. Looks like some type of security business. He says it's very demanding, but this is the happiest he's ever been in his life. And he want to add somebody to that. So great. He says that he also was a school teacher for 4 years. And I love when he said his first job was McDonald's. That's how country people say. I say McDonald's. It's McDonald's, you guys. It's McDonald's. And her first job was Papa John's. So she's going to be the pizza expert today. And when he said he was a school teacher, Janelle says, ooh, I bet those little girls were going crazy over you. I bet they... It's weird. I mean, I know what she's saying. We all had that cute teacher in high school, y'all, but it's just weird. It's something about it. Whenever people do it, I'm just like, stop being weird. Like, we know it happens, but ew. And so I was glad when he was like, why do you say that? Because, yeah, why are we even thinking about that? Like, why are we even going there about the little girls at school? Maybe it's just me, y'all. I'm probably overthinking it. I do that sometimes, but I just didn't like it. But he said that's when he told her how beautiful she was. Okay, so let's get to them figuring out what things they had in common, y'all. Because, y'all, they end up saying they had all kind of stuff in common from schools and all kind of things, honey. Chris was excited, but hold on, let me watch it. And I'm going to report back. Okay, I thought their date was going to last longer, but I'm reporting back. Their date went well. Now, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm reading it wrong. I could be reading Janelle wrong, but something about Janelle, and this was prior to her saying how many engagements she has been in, because I know she said the number before, but I don't remember it. But something about Janelle gives me non-committal. Right? I don't know how many times she's been engaged. I know she said it the first episode, maybe twice. I really can't remember. But something about the way that she moves when she is flirting or when she's talking to a man, it almost seems like if the talk gets a little too serious, she gets nervous. And it could be just because she just met Chris, but I don't know. Like he's trying to gauge how permanent she is. Like, have you ever been engaged? How many times? Do you see yourself living in Texas? Is this a place that you want to be? And, you know, what kind of people do you know? So he's trying to gauge where she's at in like a more permanent way. And it almost feels like she gets kind of like, I don't know. It's just, I could be reading it wrong. That's just the vibes that she gives me. Well, do y'all get that? Or am I reaching with this one? All right, Philip meets up with Tequila and Sierra. Tequila has already been on 2 dates on here. I'm trying to figure out if Tommy is trying to get maybe some of the guys to see her in a different light. I don't know if maybe they have heard, people talk on Ready to Love. I'm still watching the show, so we might find out. But maybe they've heard some things. And so maybe Tommy's trying to get her to redeem herself. I don't really know. But this was not the date for her to do it. So she goes out with Philip. You know, her and Philip already had their little time with the freakiest thing he ever did was in the parking garage, and she wasn't feeling his answer. So y'all remember all of that. Well, she gets there first and they're talking, and Sierra does show up. They're asking little questions, little small talk. He does ask her about fashion and the fashion industry and how she got into it, Sierra. They start talking about children, and Sierra wants as many as God will allow her to have. She's 33. She wouldn't mind having 6 children, but if that's the case, then she needs to start now. And I told y'all last week, or whatever week, that I thought that Sierra was like awkward when she flirts. And I still think that now. I don't even think she's flirting right now. She's just talking about what she wants. But even that conversation is a little awkward because while I agree that we should definitely talk about what we want and what we require, I do know that talking about certain things, especially kids and how you want a whole bunch of them, can cause some people to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just asked you your name. But he did ask her about children, so she's being honest about it. Then you have a conversation that came up about a level of privacy in relationships. And so Philip says that, in his dealings, not privacy. First, what comes up is age. And Philip says that for him, he wouldn't deal with a woman under 30, not just maturity levels, but just different things, kind of like the social media thing. And I have heard older men talk about this when dealing with younger women. Philip is a very private person, and there's no woman that you're going to find out about that he has dealt with, because he don't plaster every woman he deals with on social media. He's just not a social media type of guy. He doesn't think that matters. He's a more private person. I don't think Sierra was feeling it either, but Tequila was probably the most vocal about it. And do you know she had the nerve to say that she feels a lack of maturity on Philip's part? I said, you don't have the right to talk about anybody's lack of maturity the way you hopped up out your seat over the disciple on last week. So, but regardless of that, y'all can let me know what your thoughts are on the posting of the man or the woman on social media. I have a really hard time with this one because I'm not one of the girls who care about being posted on your social media or making some type of announcement of declaration towards me, especially if you are the type of guy that I normally date. I don't really date hoes, if you will, or reformed hoes. That's never really been my type. I've talked to some popping guys in the past that were kind of like that, but that was like college, Now, that's just not something that I gravitate towards. If I do find out somebody I was dealing with used to be a very popular man with the ladies back in the day, then that's just something that happened. I didn't know he was like that back in the day, but that's just something that happens. But when you're dealing with somebody like that, I can understand why a woman dealing with a man who has that kind of past might want to be posted, although it ain't gonna matter now. They'll still mess with somebody while having you on their page. But I'm just not one of those girls. And the reason why I'm not really one of those girls is because I'm not really a poster on my page. Anytime I have posted a man on my page, they have embarrassed me. All right. Now I've actually only done it once, and that was my boyfriend from high school. But I don't want to have to go through deleting you off my page. We will really have to solidify something. And yes, I post friends, I post people I'm dealing with. These are people who have been in my life and they have proven themselves and they ain't going nowhere. And so far, some of us 20 years in, they have not embarrassed me. You, on the other hand, bruh, you 6 months in, I don't want to have to go through and unfollow you and delete all your photos off of my social media. So that's just me. That's how I roll. I know that my siblings they do something a little bit different with their relationship. So there probably is like a age thing to it a little bit, but I don't think so. I just think it's if you are a social media person or you're not. Tequila's 35 and she clearly said that she want to be posted. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. As soon as you announce these men, they will embarrass you. So I just don't do it. But that's just me. Overall, the date went okay until Tequila mentions to him that she feels like he still got shade towards her and still is kind of treating her a certain kind of way. And Philip is just looking at her like, why? Like, everything was going good until you brought that up. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tequila ends up in the bottom on Philip's behalf, because why we even going here again? All right, y'all. This is why I hate the beginning of the season, because it's always all these people. I'm ready for folks to start getting eliminated 2 by 2, because I can't remember all of these people and they don't be talking about nothing. So we get a group date. It's Red, it's Herbert, it's Aries, Unique. I'm missing somebody. Lee. And then we got the wild card Chris coming in. They're playing a little flag football. So the fellas, especially Red, he kind of got his eyebrows raised. Like, who is this coming in here? And Chris look extra good today, honey. He got his Afro Sheen products in, hair shining. You know, I can see some mousse glaze. So he comes in and he introduces himself to everybody. Not quite the same speech he gave earlier, but you know, it's still giving a little bit of those undertones. Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I'm about to be a part of the process. Nice to meet y'all. So he tells everybody he is from Dallas, and they're starting to stretch and warm up. There's a little bit of jokes going on between him and Red. He said, yeah, when I met Red, it's like 2 bulls meeting each other. Child, ain't like no 2 bulls, two baby calves. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all could be 2 bulls. I could see it. So, they're meeting one another and they start getting into the games, and then everybody separates to have their own separate conversations. Unique does talk to Chris. I don't know if I see anything popping off between the two of them. Unique is coming off guarded to some of the guys, or not guarded, but maybe I think she's just trying to share her story of her marriage. But if I were listening to Unique, I would think that maybe she's not quite ready, because you know, she comes in very much like, I'm no nonsense. I've already been down that road and it was one hell of a road. I don't know. I think if I were talking to her, I would still date her, but I would be thinking in the back of my mind, like, is she ready to date? Does she kind of look at this situation as somebody, like, is she on guard, ready for somebody to, you know, at any wrong turn, is she going to be done with me? So, she talks to Chris. I'm not really sure if I felt like they had a strong connection, but they did have a decent conversation. Lee is talking to Herbert, and they're getting a little bit deeper. She's talking about how in the process, if she likes somebody, she got tunnel vision when she likes somebody. And Herbert talks about how he thinks he's single because he's a little bit more selective, as his friends would say. And Lee says, you know, I bet that's very much the case, especially when you're the type of person who, you know, you have a good heart and you really want to be good to somebody. You have to be careful with that. And he talks about how he really wants to nurture somebody, really wants to be there and support somebody. And sometimes I might not be getting the words right, but basically you feel like somebody's just trying to come in and use you for that nature that you have. And he has to be careful with that. So I felt a little something going on with them, but I still think she likes the other guy more. Then we have Aries and Red, nothing going on there. Red even asks if Aries finds him attractive, and she don't say yes. I was like, dang, Aries. I mean, I guess we ain't got to lie to him, but I would have been like, oh, you know, I just think I don't know what I would have said, actually. That's a very straightforward question. Then Unique and Herbert have a conversation, and Herbert thinks what I think. He's not sure if Unique is 100% ready. Like, she might have some stuff to heal from. First, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about Unique? Did you see any other connections there? I really didn't see, honestly, any connections on this group date. Lee is a maybe with Herbert, but I don't even think them. All right, last date. Thank you, Lord. So it's Kira, it's Jessica. I cannot, this man's name, it sounds like Maurice. Is it like Mauricio? He's the heavy, he's like a little heavier set guy. Then there's Philip and Marvin. They're on a group date, and Katarina shows up. And so everybody is aware now that there is a curveball. The ladies aren't feeling it, Jessica specifically. I feel like Jessica was the one that was looking like, And then Kira's herself like, oh my gosh, so cute. Hi, how are you? You know, but she really kind of looking at her like, I'm not trying to go home, girl. So everybody does their thing where they eat together and then they kind of branch off to have separate conversations. You do see more of a connection between Maury, however you say his name, and you guys, this review is terrible. Him and Jessica, they seem to connect on a lot of the same family values and the things that they want in life, and how they see themselves raising their children. And she also likes his background and where he comes from as far as his home and his lineage and all of that. Marvin and Katarina meet up. Katarina is a little put off about his erotic literature. However, she is impressed and likes that he lives in his truth and he does his creative talent that he wants to do. Speaking of creativity, she took a break from nursing for a while and started her own beauty bar in Arizona. She has nursing to fall back on, but she was really proud of herself for doing it. Marvin likes Katarina. He says that she is comfortable in her skin and he really enjoys that about her. Right now, I think all the fellas are just kind of getting a feel for her though right now to see where it goes. Then we have Kira talking to Marvin. Kira said she wore her lingerie top because she thought it was just going to be the two of them. But Marvin is talking about moving back to the islands in 6 to 8 years and watching his babies run around on the beach with their soggy diapers and moving back to the Virgin Islands. And Kira's just like, don't really know if that fits my life. This might be a red flag for me. I don't know who Kira's connecting with at this point. So that was them. I didn't really see a whole lot of connections on this date other than Jessica and the guy that she was talking to. Everybody else, it just kind of seemed like something to do. Oh, Philip does talk to Katarina, and I still didn't really see much there. I felt like she was being nice. I think he may have liked her and been impressed with her, especially the fact that she's traveled and done things. Now, I know some women are waiting on a man to want to travel with them, and I don't mind it. I don't really I don't mind if a man wants to travel with me, but if I meet a man and he hasn't done anything because he's waiting on a woman to travel with, I don't know why, but that always gives me pause, because that makes me feel like, A, are you scared to do things by yourself? And B, please don't make me your everything. I don't want to be nobody everything. That is a lot of pressure. I want you to have your own hobbies, your own goals, your own self-actualization, your own travels that you've been on, comfortable in your skin, as Beyonce says. I want you to have all of that before you meet me. I am not one of them women that like, y'all ever been with somebody like these, them old school, not even old school, because I got friends like this, but I promise you, I got women I used to work with, they husband didn't even know what to season the hamburger meat with. Like, if she didn't cook it, them boys wouldn't eat. They just literally would sit at home and starve, because that woman made their whole world go round, down to the hamburger meat season. I don't want to be needed that much. I don't want your world to revolve around me that much. So if you could take a trip or two by yourself, that would be great. Because I need you to bring something to the table. I'm not finna be planning all. I'm not your travel agent. I'm not finna be coming into your life to introduce you to all, what you put me on, right? Oh, you guys are my handful. I know y'all ain't gotta tell me. All right, let's see who these men want to eliminate. All right, so the fellas meet up. Who we got in the top? We got Janelle. The people like Janelle. We like Lee. One of the guys specifically likes Lee. I think it was Herbert. Then we had Katarina. Okay, they liked her. A lot of the guys liked her. So we got a few people that's in the top that we know are not going anywhere. Then we got some people in the bottom. And by people, I really just mean Tequila and Unique. It seemed like Tequila, a lot of the guys were not feeling her up and down nature. 1 minute seems like she's vulnerable and you can get a chance to get to know her. The next minute seemed like she might be insulting you. Unique come out the gate with, I'm not playing around, I'm not messing around. So some of the guys feel like she may have her guard up a little bit too strong. She's bringing in her past situation into the process, and sometimes that could be a little off-putting. So they send Maury, I'm gonna continue to say his name wrong. The hefty one, maybe I shouldn't call him hefty. Maury, y'all start with an M. They send him in with Unique, and then they send Quentin, I believe it's Quentin, the personal fitness trainer, they send him in with Tequila. Let me tell you something about these men. Men do not like to pull the plug on things. They can't stand it. I don't care if they've been with you 2 days or 2 years. They do not like to pull the plug on women. They just don't want to be the bad guy. I talk about it all the time. So when I tell you these men was going up the mulberry bush and around the root tree and the root and the root and the hole and a hole in the ground and the green grass grew all around. So Morier, whatever his name is talking to Unique and asking her questions about her past relationships and her past marriage, her past relationship, and what happened there. She talks about how she really didn't have a voice. She really didn't have any boundaries. She had to find it. And sometimes she realizes that she can use that voice a little too much at times. And that is a good entrance for him to come in and say, some of the fellas, although we like you and we feel like, you can be good to be around, they are sensing that you might be, what did he say? You kind of bring in your past situations into the process. And it can be off-putting to some of the guys, basically. So we want you to kind of tone that part down. Like, you don't need to do that. He does say he wants to see more confidence out of her as they continue to process. So we know that Unique is going to stay. They do feel like she is still ready to love, but they just need to see something different in her. Less guarded about her due to her past situation and more open to what's going on now. Tequila already knew she was getting eliminated. Everything about her energy, her stance, the way she was looking at bro. She didn't even put no makeup on. Looked like she had her lashes done, but she just came like she just threw, like, we filming. All right, I'm gonna throw something on real quick. Quentin's so nervous, child. I bet you his hands were shaking underneath that table. So he's talking to her and telling her that the guys met, and she's like, and so he does tell her, we just kind of feel like it's been up and down with you, and me and the fellas have decided you're not ready to love. Now, I'm telling y'all, it took him a long time to get this out. I'm making it quick. Tequila says it hurts to be misunderstood. I said, girl, get your yellow pants up and go. We don't care about none of that. You have been a headache all 3 episodes that you have been on here, so you enjoy yourself. I felt sorry for you in the beginning. I don't feel sorry for you no more, okay? So, yeah, hopefully you will find yours. Habibi is available. And you can go wrap your head in his aprons and do-rags and tablecloths, and maybe y'all can work that out. What did you guys think about the episode? Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next one. Alrighty? All right, bye.